Okay. Hi guys. Welcome back to It's Monday. It's time for the wrestling corner. How's everybody doing out there? I can see on the side you guys have been talking. So hi everybody. Hi Devin. Hi Nathan. Hi Rick. And hi Ken. So basically we get that out of there. Basically guys,
We are 4 days away to the start of the college football playoff era.
is that um back again here guys, and today is a the theme today is a request, guys. Like I said, one of our Facebook friends, Sid Robinson, gave
That's it,
us
bitches.
gave us a request. He put in his request for uh, some of the things he wanted us to talk about here in the corner. And like I said, guys, you can give us requests, no problem. And he wanted a Cena
Basically,
orient
he,
corner.
he asked us our favorite matches of Cena and something and about a question about you know Cena. What was it again?
Uh, it basically the fact is, what he said was he read an article where the Cena getting demolished by was almost like, in a sense, that he was saying, okay, his time is over. In a sense, like it's time to move on to the future, and they can't rely on a employee that is pretty much still.
Is that the whole thing? I think Sid just said, is to move on from it.
Yeah, move on, but there's more to, like, they can't rely on someone who's got that much of injury.
Well, I'm just going with what Sid
Yeah, go
gave.
ahead.
I'm just going with what Sid gave it.
But anyway, we're here to the Bennett Bros are here, and we're gonna give our 411 on some of our favorite Cena matches. Like I said, guys, we don't hate the guy. There are some matches I can still watch of his and love, and
I just gotta say, for a guy who people say can't wrestle, I can sure name a lot of good matches. We can sure name a lot of good matches that he's been in.
Yeah,
So for a guy who can't wrestle, he sure has been in a lot of matches that I like.
So we each have our own. We're gonna talk about that, but as you all know, what's been going on Raw, how you guys been liking it. Give your comments as well. I'm gonna let me go on real quick. I figured the Dust brothers were gonna turn. I figured that out a while ago. I was saying that. I said they may turn on the Usos, and I was right. But I didn't expect it to be tonight. Exactly, I didn't expect it to be tonight, but they turned. As for finally, Roman Reigns is getting involved with Seth, which I've been waiting for. I was like, yes, when is he gonna get involved in this? And finally, it happens. So there've been some good stuff so far, but as always,
You count Sandow really devolving to butt monkey as good?
no. So we're basically we're here to talk about the company guy, the face, Cena, John Cena.
Boy.
When he first came in, I mean, he looked like your average prototype character, matching this, matching that. He came in and showcased, he's going to take it to somebody like Kurt Angle.
Came in there, and I'm never gonna forget that. I believe that was in June. If I'm not mistaken, it was June 25th, 2002. I could be wrong. You got Kurt Angle. No, it's just it's Kurt Angle, and he makes a challenge, and next thing you know, here comes. And I'll never forget it because I was my childhood friends. He was about to leave, go home, but before he did, SmackDown started, and we're watching, and we see this guy John Cena come in, the ruthless aggression and the slap, and it's like, whoa, immediately, you know, raising our eyebrows, like, whoa, and he he countered the angle slam. I believe he countered the ankle out before finally losing, and it was a real, establishing moment. Like it's one of the best debut matches I think in wrestling history because off the bat it was like, okay, it's something. I don't know what's the future of this kid, but for the time being, he's made pretty something. So, um, but before we get into the matches, right. Trying to find. All right, here we go. This is what Sid was talking about. Also, I read a link that talked about Brock's domination. Cena was, Vince saying Cena's time is coming to an end, and his request was, "What do we think about that, and do we agree with it?" All right, with Cena's time coming to an end. Okay. Well, I think I think Cena Cena can go away. Cena could go away, and it'll be a kind of a gap, so to speak, because you still got to build up. It's just not. And I don't think it's the case where okay, Cena leaves. All all right, let's just okay, let's just bring Roman Reigns, because there are some people that still feel Roman Reigns, still need some more build up.
Yeah, he still needs build up.
So you have to build up, some people, but as far as Cena's time being up, um, I don't know. I mean, he took one big ass whooping, and I've seen him take that plant up, but never at the big stage like SummerSlam. But I don't really know. I can't really say that. I don't. It really, who is it for me to really say that Cena's time? The only time Cena's time up, and unless the WWE fully, fully backs another person that the fans along backs up with. And it seems like at that point, that person is Roman Reigns. Maybe Roman Reigns is the person that to take the. Oh, that's so. Jesus Christ. What's your thoughts on Cena's time being
I
up?
don't think his time is up, but I think that when he feels that but he does. I don't think his time is up. I just think that he still can be useful to the company no matter what. But uh, it's kind of in a sense, does he need the belt? No, he doesn't need the belt. I think he just he can still be that character there, but doesn't need the belt to prove that he is still irrelevant and things like that.
Relevant.
Relevant. What's that? Irrelevant. Relevant.
But it's also like
Oh. Oh. Is that King?
yeah.
Yeah. You slapped her?
Oh,
Oh.
okay. Yo, we getting slapped.
Yeah.
Got slapped by Victoria.
Yeah.
Got slapped by. We had threats of death on
Yeah, that's
WWE.
death. She just said death. I hope you die. I wish you died in the womb.
But it's like what JR said.
Mm-mm.
Remember he said on one of the recent
Yeah, the
podcasts.
recent
There's a
podcast.
lot more that goes into being the top guy.
Right.
You know, it's just not something. You know, bam, okay, you put somebody as top guy. It's like he said, you know, the PRs. You know, you got to, you got to, um, you got to spread the word about a company. You know, you just can't. It's I guess in WWE's terms. You know, when you're being the top guy, it's just not what you do in the ring; it's what you do outside the ring. And Cena, as we heard, he does all these PRs. Sometimes he looks dead tired, and
Yeah.
he's up for the show and everything. So
Uh, yeah, still real. I mean, just like with Jr. had it best. I mean, but yeah, if you only realize, yeah, I've seen, and he's talked. Cena has talked about it on Steve's podcast about he's up. He only gets about a certain amount of this, and I'm like, and a lot of the other guys will say it. They, no matter what, they admire him for that. Like, you know, even Punk even said it. Yes, even CM Punk said, like, I don't know how he does it, but he does it. no matter what, you know. But the list, Sid. When this goes up, I'll put it. We'll put it in the chat because I know you don't have a YouTube account and things like that, so you could just watch it there. But all right. Uh, so we have a list. I don't have a lot because I just I've only chose 6. I think Malcolm has more than me. So I think I'll start first. I'm not going to go in any particular order how I wrote them, but and I'll also read some of you guys' comments of your favorite Cena matches on the side here. But I think I'm gonna start with Vengeance '06, Cena versus the genocidal, suicidal Sabu. Now, why this match? You didn't ask. You didn't ask Sid why we picked it, but I'm gonna explain it anyway.
I mean, why is it favorite?
Why is it your favorite? Anything? But I'm gonna explain. I enjoy this match because, first of all, even when back in the old ECW, I liked Sabu, but I wasn't as big a fan of his as I was of Taz. That was my boy. Taz was my man, but when Sabu started interfering in Cena's matches, I'm like, get the fuck out of here, leave him alone. Like, so.
It all started because of what happened at One Night Stand. You know, the background was you had the One Night Stand match between Cena and RVD. Everybody knows the story.
Right.
Edge came in with the freaking back element. He speared John Cena on style. And
Cena, being the person he is, he's like, okay, all right. He walked in there. He walked into hostile territory by himself and was like, look, okay, you want to play like that?
Actually, it didn't start like that. He saw that ECW was going to have their premiere night.
Right.
And he walked in there not to get at ECW. He walked in there to get Edge because Edge was, and he came through the crowd.
And he got Edge.
And he got Edge. And then when Edge ran off, Paul Heyman he slugged Paul and then just walked up and go Edge, and
that's kind of where
and
it's
Paul
started.
Heyman, how dare he, disrespect ECW? How dare it? We're gonna show up on ECW, and I'm not coming alone. I'm bringing. And then Balls Mahoney, he has a match with Balls Mahoney. He's following. Then look like he's gonna get Paul Heyman. There comes Sabu. And typical Sabu,
throwing chairs,
and he does his Arabian, face buster through the announcement table, which was a 6 spot. He almost fell like always.
And basically from there, that's kind of where the culmination of the match came from. And the build up, and the match it's fun to watch. That's all. It's just fun to watch, and you just see some of the like typical Sabu's like. Okay, but
what do you mean suicide?
Like jumping off stuff, going suicide mode, as I call it.
Yeah, you must just stay. And don't forget what type of match it was.
But yeah, it was an I Quit match. No, it was what was it? A submission match again?
What was submission?
What was it again?
It was an Extreme Lumberjack.
Yeah, Extreme Lumberjack. There we go.
Extreme Lumberjack. You had the Lumberjacks. You had the Lumberjacks from ECW. You had the Lumberjacks from not WWE. You had Lumberjacks from from Raw. And the ending was, man, watching that live. Chris was at a trip for his job at the time. I think he was up in. I was up in
Lake George.
Lake George.
At my job, and Malcolm watched it, and he recorded it for me, and I watched it, and I was like, I looked at that, and I'm like, hey, this match is pretty good. So in a sense, Sid, that's why that makes one of my favorite Cena matches. I can watch that match over.
I just watched it because I just wanted to see Sabu get his.
Yeah, and that was the other. Like I said, it's not that I hate Sabu. It's just that I felt like yo, Seth, it's really none of your business. Like, get out of here.
And it started when it reinforced the trend that Sabu can't break a tail because
Yeah.
Cena freaking FU'd him over the top of the tail, and the table only broke like this, and he made Sabu tap. He made Sabu tap out.
Yeah, and that was the biggest thing right there. He made Sabu tap, but that's one of mine, Sid. So I hope you enjoyed that. Okay,
Okay.
I'll be back, guys.
Hey, Invictus is here. Before we got Invictus, we got Young J-Way. Yes, and Quan, yeah, we're finally, we're getting. I got renewed my subscription of the W Network. I haven't renewed it since I think June or July. I think June. Uh, yeah. Okay, wait. Well done. I understand the use of, but I don't think they needed it to prove they were. Uh, I'm gonna actually actually chime in on this discussion about the NWO that Big Rick and uh, Shadow Godfrey you had. Um, okay, Shadow Godfrey said that 96 to 98 was NWO's best years in his opinion. Um, no, I never watched the NWO in real time. When I started watching wrestling, you know, probably like late '97, but I know for sure definitely '98. So it was mostly WWE. But looking back on the NWO, I think Big Rick, I think you hit it right on the head that the main problem with the NWO was that they got too big to the point where they actually had their own mid card division, like a whole division of mid carders. And now I look back on it, they also lost focus of the NWO because they allowed it because even they said on the NWO the NWO DVD. They basically allowed it to get too big because how much popularity, and yeah, that happened, but they allowed it to get too big, and it's almost like they lost focus. And to be quite honest, I think that they forgot that the NWO, as cool as they were supposed to be the bad guys because they did so much for the NWO that it was okay. But what are you gonna do? Well, where is the opposition? What about the opposition? That's WCW. It was only until really Stain came. So I sometimes forget. I sometimes think that they may forgot. Oh yeah, the NWO. They're cool. They're supposed to be the bad guys. Yeah. But they lost focus, and the NWO supposed to be a takeover everything. A lot of people still stand by this. The NWO.
Oh man, hard hit.
The NWO. The angle should have came at the end at Starrcade '97 when Sting beat Hogan, but it dragged on. And I saw Bear say that you felt that they didn't need the you understood the spray paint, but they didn't need that to come across as typical thug-like characters. Uh, that's debatable, but you can't lie. At that time, it was something different.
Yeah.
You wasn't seeing, yeah, it looked like gang warfare. You never really saw spray paint be used in wrestling, so it was something different. Just like them using black and white footage. That was something they like. I like how Matt Striker said,
vintage.
Yeah, they made something vintage seem relevant again. All right. So, but first up for my favorite scene of matches, I didn't see it on pay per view. They didn't order pay per view but it was so.
Oh no!
Look at this! Look at this!
Look at this!
2 weeks in a row. Is this now a coincidence?
Is this a setup?
Reigns, you gotta do something.
Come on, Reigns!
Somebody help Reigns.
Reigns moving. Oh! Oh! Close.
Remember that punch he gave on me?
Oh
my God!
Man, back came. Yeah, come on, King.
But the amount of violence of the match was so big that on SmackDown, on that. Oh my God!
Oh, he gonna hit him
He
with?
got one brick.
He got one
He
brick.
got one center. All
right, Reigns. Come on, man.
Hey, man.
Oh man, you see him now? Got it.
Oh my! But that would be murder.
Hey, Reigns.
I don't condone
Hey,
that.
come on, Reigns.
You gonna try to kill this?
Don't throw him. Oh my God. I think King got hit with some of the fragments. Wait, you got Kane still over there. Oh.
Did King get hit or something? Did King get hit?
I think he got hit. That's why he said, you all right, King? It exploded. You see?
What's with all these, wishing death on people and threatening to murder people now? What is this? The hell's going on here? Look, I'm not saying that I don't blame Roman for them trying to do it on him, but man, he trying to throw a cinder block to somebody's head.
Cinder block at him.
And that's pretty catastrophic. But and speaking of catastrophic, they labeled this to be very violent, catastrophic, that they had to show it on SmackDown. The match was John Cena defending his United States title against Carlito's bodyguard, Jesus, at Armageddon 2004. Also, it was the same. Also, what was notable about the match that it was when Cena debuted the spinner United States belt. And man, oh man, Cena. Okay, if you don't know the background, Carlito, he made his debut at the expense of John Cena, and after he beat John Cena on his first night, becoming the United States champion, they had somewhere Cena got stabbed in a late night club, and it was by Jesus. So Cena, he got his United States belt back. Carlito wears hurt on, and I know what we need to do. Cause that's where when he first came, he had that strong accent. And we need to do
that strong.
That. Oh shoot! Look at that.
Oh my gosh, man, I swear. I swear, JBL gets more dumber and dumber every day. I swear, it's so stupid. I want King to smack him. Or Michael Cole just smack him.
Look, no match, no disqualification. That was fatal with the cinder block. But Cena beat the holy hell out of Jesus.
I remember that.
When they showed that thing on SmackDown, man, he beat the hell out of him. And that's why now every time they be saying, never seen this side. Later on they start saying, never seen this side of Cena before. I'm like, wait a minute. What about the Jesus match? He beat the ever-living hell out of Jesus. And, man, it was one of Cena's best moments. It was one of his most badass moments. Really. This is before he went on to go face JBL. But, yep, just gonna get that out of the way. Jesus, Armageddon 2004, for the United States Champion. The debut of the United States Spinner Belt. Yep. That was one of John Cena's most badass moments. Young J-Way, Cena's best rivalry, in my opinion, was Edge. His match with Edge were great with awesome build-up from cashing in the contract to Edge, spearing him at One Night Stand, costing Cena the title. Yes, man, no doubt about it. Cena versus Edge, that was the feud of 2006.
I like Cena's Edge feuds way better than I like his and Orton feud.
Okay, Sinquan, I would say what you guys what you guys think about the new title, but more about the new symbol. Yeah, you see, it's good they said the new symbol because the title ain't really different.
Yeah, ain't no different.
It's just just the new symbol.
As I look at the new WWE symbol now as almost just as much as like it changes. It's gonna change. Like every era. Look at all the past. The WWE thing changed from time to time. It is what it is. I really don't mind too much.
I feel the sleek look. I think it really corresponds with the modern time.
Yeah, so I really don't have nothing bad about it. But I'm just like, it was always said that they were going to it was going to go back to being one belt, and Jericho even said it too. When he was answering questions on IGN, he was like, I never felt that there should have been two belts.
Why should there be two world champions?
Why should be two? Yeah.
But he didn't say exactly, but it's almost like, why should there be two world champions in one company?
Yeah.
One company should just have one world champion.
So when they said they were, and then there was rumors that they were just going to give up the world belt, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. It was like when Cena gave it to Flair that night.
That was almost like a sign of retirement.
That was almost like here you go, it's relinquished. But I felt, I was like, I knew they weren't going to change the whole belt again. I was like, when Rock debuted that WWE belt, what was that? A year ago? Yeah, so it was like, no way they're just going to do that right away. So with them just having, I just wish the belt was a little bigger. That's my problem. My thing is, if you're the champion of the damn company, you should have the biggest belt. Like, I'm not talking like big like the boxing belts. Those are too big. But big enough where your belt's, because that belt still, it almost is the size of the old United States title from WCW. That's what it looks like. It almost looks similar to that.
The old United States title?
No. I'm talking before it became NW. I'm talking about when it was under WCW.
What I'm talking about, the U.S. heavyweight, that belt was big. That belt was big. When Goldberg had it, it looked big.
It looked big.
It was big. It was bigger than the United States belt now.
But it is what it is.
That belt was
I don't
big.
mind I don't mind the look.
I think that was one of the biggest belts, along with the WCW World Heavyweight belt,
the big gold belt. That's right.
Along and the Undisputed Championship wasn't that big, but people, when they saw that belt, okay, it's the world champion.
I didn't like that belt.
Look, you still got the top one.
Okay, so I guess I'll go on to my next, guys. John Cena, Great American Bash '07 between him and Bobby Lashley. Very much enjoyed this match. It was a long time since we saw a face versus face. And
That year you had Shawn Michaels and John Cena.
That's right. That's
and
right.
Taker and Batista. That's something that stood out to me about 2000. I'm just going to say that that at one point the top world title feuds were between two faces.
But with this match, I enjoyed it because it was like, how is Cena gonna? The story basically, from my perspective, was like, yeah, you got Cena who is this, but Bobby Lashley. But basically, the Cena, Bobby Lashley was a collegiate wrestler. He did all this, and but it matched up pretty well. But then you can see that when it came time to grapple and ground and pound, Cena was getting outmatched, not wrestled. And it took basically, because I'm gonna run through this really fast. I don't want to take up a lot of time. It took an FU off the top rope to beat Lashley. And one thing I always enjoyed also about it is the show of respect and handshake, which we don't see a lot now. And Cena, giving him his like, everybody thought Cena was going to lose. This was Lashley going to get the belt, and he didn't. But I very much enjoyed that match. JR, called it very well, and it was a really good match. Very much indeed. So that's my second favorite Cena match. Like I said, I'm going to run through mine kind of quickly. I don't want to take up a lot of time. So, yeah. If you haven't seen that match, go back and watch it.
I say watch the whole entire pay-per-view.
Yeah.
To be real honest with you, I say watch the whole entire pay-per-view. I think Great American Bash '07, I posted on Facebook that '07 was maybe one of the real decent shows when WWE bought the Great American Bash line, because for some odd reason they never really went all the way out with Great American Bash. So Great American Bash '07, I say is a recommended show. And staying in 2007, to be quite honest, Cena, he had a pretty good 2007 in terms of matches. And rewinding back to January, Umaga Royal Rumble 2007 last man stand match for the WWE Championship.
Rest in peace.
That match opened a lot of people's eyes. I'm never going to forget. But watching this match, we did not expect that it was going to be that damn good. I mean, at that time, Cena really needed a performance like that. He really did, because his feud with Edge was over. And Umaga was on this undefeated streak, this undefeated high. And they had the first New Year's Revolution, and Cena won kind of a little bit kind of flukish in a way. Second, his last man standing match, and we got stuff, Cena, that's where he first threw the steel steps, and which then became a signature spot for all his other last man standing matches. Cena, man, looked like a savage because he's all bloody, and then comes Umaga trying to splash by rolling up the another table, he misses, and then the creative ending with Cena wrapping the rope around and choking, and strangling, Umaga, while he's looking like a bloody Tarzan. And, man, it was just like off the chart. You can just feel, like, the intensity and everything in that match, the physicality. Yeah.
Good storytelling.
If you got intensity, you're going to get good storytelling. You can feel it. The story's being told well. And, man, it was to the point where a lot of the Cena, haters or the Cena fans of non-fans of Cena that were in that crowd had nothing but respect. It had nothing to do but clap for him after the match was over, because it was one hell of a performance. Oh. So, yeah, Umaga, John Cena, Royal Rumble 2007 was one of Cena's best matches for sure.
Uh, I guess keep it '07. This was actually Raw, April 23rd, 2007. His match, that epic match with him and Shawn Michaels uh, in England. It was in England, and they used up the rest of the TV time for that match. Um, no matter what, it's what everybody says about working with Shawn. You got to bring a cup of coffee because he's gonna work you.
No, the saying with that's what Austin.
That's what Austin said.
Austin said the saying with Shawn is that you better worry about yourself. You better take care of yourself because Shawn's gonna take care of himself.
Yeah.
Because and also, you better bring your best because Shawn's always gonna bring his best.
And them two, because it wasn't even supposed to go that long. The next match was supposed to be Edge and Orton.
But I still think that it was. They just said that. Yeah. I still think they just said that. They were supposed to go that long.
But yeah, that match right there, Sid, was I looked at that match and I'm like, wow, they're still going. And it wasn't as if they weren't burnt out, but it was like from counter to counter, this and that, to finally John makes one mistake and Shawn capitalized on it as the veteran that he is. But that match was just overall really good, and the people of England got a treat with that match.
Basically, it was first time the mistake. The funny thing is that it actually, the same sequence happened at WrestleMania 2023, where they faced off as well. John went for the FU, and when he went to FU, Shawn landed on his feet. And when he went for the sweep at Mania, Cena counted into the STF. But in the rematch, and it was non-title, the same spot happens, but Shawn lands on his feet, but this time nails the kick. And he gets to 1, 2, 3. Oh, shit. So John Cena, Shawn Michaels, April 23rd, 2007, the WrestleMania 23 rematch. It was off the charts. I've been watching that, and I'm first thinking, I'm not even as if like, when this match going to end? I'm thinking, whoa, when is this match going to end? Because, man, this match is still going.
Gabi's here. All right, let me see what we got here. Okay, Gabi's laughing out loud. Real women fight barefoot. Nikki's explanation to why she turned heel was a bit better this week than last week's, laughing my ass off when she yelled at Lawler. Get on, Bill, man. Reigns versus Rollins and Bull
for Night
Court. Yeah.
Did the spinner belt of the W title and United States title ruin the lineage and the prestige of them both? No,
because
I go with the United States. I don't think so. It was another way of building, capitalizing on Cena's popularity. And basically popularity of spinners.
Right, and yeah, because at that time, the spinner rims got really big.
And my thing is, I'm not too big of a fan of superstar themed belts.
Yeah,
I don't think they ruined the lineage, but I don't think that title should represent a wrestler. For instance, as much as I think the Smoking Skull belt, which is my personal favorite superstar themed belt, I think that was all that was needed. Then came after Cena with which went on to become, which we thought was just going to be for Cena, right, but then became for everybody.
Yeah.
Then came the Rated R suit, which was only for Edge.
There was other belts that
You know,
was
you had the
supposed to be
Brahma
the
Bull.
Brahma
Remember, I
Bull
found
belt.
out that got lost. That got lost in the mail.
Yeah,
So,
the Brahma Bull belt. Taker was supposed to have his own belt.
Edge said that the Rated R belt was not just going to be that spinner. It was going to be a Rated R superstar belt, but they didn't have time to finish. They didn't have time to finish it. But I don't think they. I think that the spinner belt, the WWE championship, I think it lasted longer than it should have. I really think that it lasted longer than it should have. But I don't think the look. I don't think the look necessarily ruins the link. It's how it's the treatment of the reigns.
Yeah.
Case in point, in WCW, with all those hot shot reigns and titles changing hands like bam, 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 I read that people stopped caring about the belt because nobody held it long.
Yeah, we heard that Bully's contract at TNA is coming up. Devin. Nathan, you say should Cena become IC champ at some point?
I know. Can I answer this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Cena was become IC champion. Most fans like, oh, wait, I bet you some fans would find that to be upsetting. Like, give me a belt. Oh, come on now. He got the Intercontinental belt. You know. So.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is a disrespect to all the mid cards. You know.
Jay, you say one of my favorite matches for Cena is him versus Edge at Unforgiven 06.
Yes, the TLC match.
And then you also say I also love Cena versus JBL 05 Judgment Day. Very good match.
See, that was the I Quit match, and that was probably the best match those two ever had.
In case if you guys didn't see my comment, I wrote that Malcolm heard his contract has expired. So I guess I go or okay, I go again. Wait, I went already. Did you go already?
I said Umaga.
Oh,
I said Umaga. I said you said that you left off on the Shawn Michaels.
Okay,
match.
I did 3.
Oh, wait a minute.
I did 3. Did you?
Yeah, so I didn't do my third one.
You didn't do your third one.
Once again, sticking in 2007. I think 2007, Cena, he had some really good matches. And this is the first one that involves multiple people of this. Of this list. No Way Out 2007 was a smack. Oh, there.
It.
Oh, and he made up.
Yeah, he made up.
He got his underarm over.
Come on, man.
No Way Out 2007 was a SmackDown pay-per-view. That was the last ever brand exclusive pay-per-view. But the main event, which was a unique one, was WrestleMania main event versus WrestleMania main event.
Oh.
John Cena and M.V.K, who were the tag team champions too, against Undertaker and Batista. Man, that was a good main event tag team match. You got all this star power. There was a point in that match. There was a point in that match where Cena delivered one of the hardest lariats I've ever seen. I think it was better than a clothesline, but he clocked the hell out of Batista. And then the ending came when Undertaker's making his comeback.
Swagger!
Oh my God!
Oh!
Yeah, believe that.
Yeah, stupid. Good God. Thank you.
He's bringing his name up again.
Shut that pedophile up.
Okay. That wasn't inspiration.
Never mind. I don't care about.
But
maybe I'll need a sucker dick.
Then it came. Undertaker make his big comeback, and you know he The Undertaker, he's like a runaway. He's like a freight train. He's clocking Cena. Shawn Michaels clothesline him on the corner, choke slam, spine buster on Shawn Michaels on Batista. Undertaker look like that. Next time, Batista getting paid back from when Undertaker choked him, spine bust him, screws him over.
What the hell, Batista? Damn it, man!
Yeah, JBL screws him over. Undertaker gets up. Batista watches Taker get sweet chin. FU 1, 2, 3. John Cena and Shawn Michaels. And the funny thing is that Vince McMahon basically said this was a match we'll never see again. And then weeks later, they would have a rematch where it was Shawn the Screw Cena. So yeah, that was a pretty good, non-traditional tag team match where there was no traditional tag team. You get all this star power. Man.
Payback's a bitch. He said Payback's a bitch.
And it was the last No Way Out before No Way Out became the Elimination Chamber themed pay-per-view. No, when it was, don't forget, 2008, 2009, it was still No Way Out with the Elimination Chamber theme.
Yeah.
Then 2010, that's when they won just called it Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. So my next match is okay. I'm getting out of 2007, but this is 04. But I always thought Cena and Booker had good chemistry together in the ring. I thought they worked very well together, and you saw it in the combination of their Best of 5 series, which really put, once again, why I like that Best of 5 series and the combination of it is the fact that it put highlight on a title that is not so highlighted now anymore. That was all centered around the U.S. title, and it was the Best out of 5 series.
Started the first match of the series was at SummerSlam 04.
Right. Started there. That right there is where it started. And I was like, and I looked at that and I'm like, man, they worked very well together. And
I don't even think the match was that long. The first match wasn't even that long.
First match wasn't that long.
I think it was pretty short.
But then the next match came. And you just see these guys, they would just...
Remember, one we didn't see because it happened in Australia.
Yeah, down in Australia.
Down under.
Down under, because it happened... They were in tour.
They did one on a house show.
In a house show in Australia, but still, you just saw they clicked. They were just clicking and clicking and clicking. And I was like, Cena and Booker T, one of the greats in my opinion, clicked so well together. And you're like, wow, they worked so well. And each match got better. It wasn't like it got standard and it's like, oh, okay. So no, it upped the ante for each match. Even though the one we couldn't see because it was a house show in Australia, but they showed clippets of it, but it's in promos and stuff.
I still have yet to see the final match. Which was at No Mercy 04. I only seen highlights thanks to the highlight vids, but that's where Cena won the belt.
Overall, good, very much. Sid, once again, I'm gonna keep shouting you out, Sid, because this is your request. And I very much enjoyed it from start to where it became. I thought Cena and Booker connected very well, and they clicked very well. They worked really well together, and you could see like the mutual respect between both of the men in those matches. Like they trusted each other. Like you take care of me, I'm gonna take care of you.
I couldn't really tell because Booker played so well as a heel in that. I can't really tell. He did the same thing with Cena. Oh, John.
But SummerSlam 04, Booker, Cena versus Booker, where it all started, the Best out of 5 series. Another one of my favorites. There you go, Sid. I have one more, and
okay. See, I thought you was gonna have this on your list, but you didn't. I was gonna go with the Orton match. SummerSlam 07.
Yeah, well, I didn't put that.
But that's not the match I'm talking about. Thought you have it number one to watch it a lot. Gonna go it back to the start of Cena's time as the main eventer or the guy. His triple threat match at Vengeance '05 against Jericho and Christian. That is
Yeah.
a fun
Yes.
triple threat
I was
match.
gonna put that, but I was like, nah, Mark could probably put it on.
That was that was Cena's first Raw pay-per-view. He just came from the draft.
That was just when the draft.
Yeah, the draft, and his first pay-per-view is against Jericho and Christian. And man, that was a fun triple threat match. I mean, you had Cena, power. You had a spot where Jericho went for a suplex, and Cena come under and they power bombs them off. And the ending was creative, something that me and Chris always said that Cena should have done more often in triple threat match. The ending comes, Christian's about to go for the Emperor. Jericho pushes him off into a FU position. Here comes Jericho, and Cena swings Christian's legs into Jericho.
Uses Christian as like a battering. Bam.
And it's like, oh shoot! And then FU 1, 2, 3. I was like, oh, that was a creative finish.
I've always felt like Cena should do that more because they always have Cena, if he's about to go, somebody push it and they fall on him. Like the time where you got Cena got pushed, Cody Rhodes fell on top and I'm like,
hey, he got RKO.
Yeah.
He lifted Carter and got RKO.
So I've always felt like he needs to wham somebody more, but so yeah, good. That's a good match. That's a fun match to watch. Oh man!
Since that wasn't on my list,
look at his face, monkey face.
Yeah, that monkey. So I guess that was a honorable mention. So, I guess I kind of get out of 2007. I was gonna say the Orton SummerSlam '07 match, which was really good. I'm gonna go with his last match, his last significant match with Ed. This was like to end their feud.
Oh shit! You see this? You already said it. Stay down. Look at his face. Whoa. Look what Lesnar did. Another one. Saito suplex. All right. Let's see. Hit him again? Oh, Devin, you say question. What are your favorite? Oh, we got to do that on another time.
But we did watch that video, and actually, I'm just gonna say a little bit. I found out that when Taker was being stretchered off, at WrestleMania, that was 27.
Yeah.
Not all of that was a word.
Yeah,
he said that he couldn't walk for 2 days.
Yeah, just hearing that, I'm like, whoa, okay.
And I still say to this day, he was never the same after Sim Snooker failed to catch him. He was never the same.
Oh man, I think Cena hit him in the balls.
That significant final edge match was Backlash '09, last man standing match. I reckon, and it was at the last Backlash. And I wish Backlash was still around.
Oh! Needed a face. Watch this. Gonna do it again. Oh!
Backlash '09 overall was a damn good pay-per-view, and unfortunately, it was the last Backlash. It was way better than WrestleMania 25 too.
Right.
And I don't know why I'm saying that because Backlash is supposed to be the Backlash event.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like the revenge show of WrestleMania. But Edge and Cena. Last time I've seen Bryan get dominated like this when we had that match with Bryan. I remember when Bryan was first off, Bryan was beating the hell out of him. But Cena, speaking of beating out, Cena and Edge beat the hell out of each other in this understanding match.
That's the one with the bull, right?
Yeah, that's the ending.
Another one. Oh, okay.
Bray's doing what Cena didn't do. He's fighting back. Oh. What? You see?
Oh, yeah, look.
Oh, sugar honey iced tea. It looks like they're more trying to restrain him.
Yeah, they're more trying to restrain him. Who's that? Who's coming? Oh, man, look how slow they're coming. Her. Hey, why would you go to a commercial?
Big Show here. It was Big Show who turned out to be the difference maker of that match. Big Show comes out of nowhere,
and
maybe
still with no there was still no. If I remember, there was still no explanation of why he did it.
No, or why he didn't go after both.
Why he didn't go after? But
it was almost as if. Okay, I grabbed one. I'm going to get one you got. Okay, I got you. All right, I'm just going to do what you. And let's see it up. And man, throws to that spot. Boom! I'm like, oh!
Yeah, he
just got seen looking like a hurt Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah,
it don't look like Constellation. And Edge wins the belt back. My only gripe with that match is that the World title was hot-shotted.
Yeah.
Okay, it went from, remember, Edge, who wasn't even supposed to be in that Raw Elimination Chamber when he took Kofi out, which was...
Yeah.
He wins the World Championship, then loses at WrestleMania, and then wins it back at Backlash. But that Backlash 09, the last ever Backlash, recommended. And look,
I didn't like that aftermath of it. You know, Cena coming out.
Oh, yeah, the next night he comes. I'm like, dude, yeah, my God, it's John Cena.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, you just went through a freaking stage light.
No, and they even, like, I think they say 800 watts.
Yeah.
Wait, 800 watts.
800 watts.
And you know, he crosses Big Show a match against Batista, and you know, tips his hat like,
yeah.
But I recommend Backlash 09.
I'll get the last. Like I said, I didn't have a lot said, you know, because I thought Malcolm was taking a lot. But the last one, I'm going 03, No Mercy, which kind of it started off for Cena. His big couple of matches he had with Kurt Angle, and Kurt has talked about how he felt about working with Cena.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not disagreeing with that at all. But don't forget, I think we really started to see that they're really going to do some Cena when they had a feud with Taker.
Yeah, feud with Taker.
That was his feud before the Angle thing.
Before the Angle, but
and at the time, Cena was still a heel in this feud with Angle. Kurt Angle was still a fair no. And also, this is the same match where its build-up included the smaller Kurt Angle and Kurt Angle, you know, acting like Cena.
Right.
And I love this is Kurt Angle. I'll tell you a story. I once knew a kid. I once knew a kid. He's I once knew a kid who talked a lot of smack. He's whiter than me, but he thinks he's black.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
So those are my. I have more Sid, but I just wanted. I gave about 6 of my favorite Cena matches. So those are mine, Sid. I hope you enjoyed them. Uh, I hope you enjoyed them, Sid. Uh, so yeah, those are mine. Malcolm has more, so he'll hit you guys with more. But I'll be back once again, guys.
Oh man, what a time!
One day.
Uh, see, you see Jamal. See, I thought Chris Ford was gonna have that on his list, but yeah, of course. I think it goes without. I think it goes without saying. The CM Punk match at Money in the Bank 2011. Oh man, that was a match where even in real time as it was happening, you realized this was a classic. I don't think it was one of those instances where, okay, you thought it was good, and then you watch it. Oh man, I didn't think it was that good. I didn't realize it was that good. No, I think that was the case where you knew something special was going on while it was happening. I was feeling every bit of that match, the vibe, the atmosphere, whatever you want to call it, of that Chicago crowd. Man, that is the type of crowd that everybody dreams. I don't mean Chicago. I mean that type of feel, the big match feel, is what is missing, in mostly every main event now in wrestling. It had that big match feel. You knew you was part of something. That whole Money in the Bank pay-per-view was good too. Money in the Bank 2011 was a great pay-per-view. But that match itself, you just knew that, man, I am watching something really awesome. And once again, it shows that, when it comes crunch time and, it's put up or shut up, Cena can work his ass off. So, as I always say, it's always funny for a guy who we all, who most of us have joke, oh, he can't wrestle, or so, for some odd reason, he sure has a lot of good matches. He sure has been a lot of good matches. And I bet you a lot of you guys, yeah, yeah, Jamal, the Cena, he is one hell of a worker. I say, it seems to me, he's one hell of a worker inside when the time permits, and he's one hell of a worker out. And he's a hell of a worker outside the ring. I mean, all the Make-A-Wish stuff he does, and all the PR tours. So, as much as, we got a lot of negative things about the Cena character, he's not all negative, in my personal opinion. Oh, man, Luke, this time Luke body slammed Mark.
That one, right there. Sorry.
Oh, shoot. I guess, I guess I'll read two more off. It was for the WWE Championship. Cena versus Rey Mysterio, Raw 2011. After they did a tournament after Money in the Bank when CM Punk left with the belt. They did a tournament to crown. Now, the backstory to this, till this day, if it was our good friend Phil, he agreed with me 100% when I said it. The background to this match was pretty fishy. They have this tournament. Cena's not even in the tournament. The final came down to Miz and Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio wins the WWE Championship. And he doesn't really get a chance to celebrate because Vince McMahon comes out and he basically says, what I'm about to say is more important than the WWE Championship, something like that. And it's like, really, what the whole thing about trying to fire Cena is more important than somebody winning WWE Championship. So yeah, sometimes WWE itself, it's WWE itself that in their promos kind of devalue their own belt sometimes. And that's when Triple H returned as the COO and everything. So, um, um, Ray is celebrated, and then backstage, everybody celebrating with Ray, all the faces. Then here comes Cena with this sly smirk. It's not even like good job. It's almost like enjoy while you laugh because I know I'm getting my shot. And next thing you know, Cena versus Rey Mysterio. And in the same night, and man, it just felt so fishy. Like, what did Cena know he was getting he was getting a shot at Ray after Ray won the WWE Championship? Ah, choke slam! But Cena and Ray, I think they work well together. And there's not that many times, you don't find that many times where Cena is the bigger guy in height and everything in a match. Oh, look at John, now he's doing all these Germans. Oh shoot, the headlock takedown with oh my god. Now. 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 Tap out, son.
Look.
Ow. No. Here we go. No. No, here we go, Chris. You know it's coming, right? John Cena's just buried the wire.
Yeah.
Oh my god. No. No, see, this also showed that maybe Cena needed Brock Lesnar, or he may have took care of the Wyatt, quicker than he did. Oh my god. He going for another one. Oh, Jesus. He said, Brock, I'm coming for you. Oh, man.
Look, I'm not gonna lie, guys. Look, I'm rooting for Cena all the way. I don't like bullies, and that's what Brock is, a damn bully.
How does more get more comments?
Go to the looking at the link.
This one.
No, go back to the yeah, you can. Yeah.
I know people I know we're all gonna get on there and everything. Cena's just buried, the Wyatt, no, I don't think anybody gonna say, oh, I understand the story, I just didn't wish it was the Wyatts. No, I think a lot of people are gonna say, oh, Cena buried the Wyatts, They're not gonna say also, it was Mike Tyson that said that quote. I've got Gabi. I think Cena's best match was on the April 23rd, 2007 episode Raw after. WrestleMania 23 with HBK. Um, I think I think that's I think that's about it of the comments because I'm going to return the newest comment. So I don't seeing anything. So I think we can wrap this thing up. This Cena S Big Rick is leaving, and it's a good time then because we're about to wrap this up. All right, Rick. It's lunchtime down under. Go. Have a good lunch. Okay, young J-Way. Uh, I am rooting for Cena, but did he have to look so dominant over the Wyatts? You see that? See, I'd rather take that than just buried. But I would say this. I would ask this: Did Austin have to look so dominant against a whole group of Invasion WCW ECW members? It's like you look at what Cena did. If you look at what Sting and Austin, especially Sting with the NWO and Austin, as much as I was on my feet when Austin, came and helped the team WWE, it's like, all right, it's like, well, wait a minute, you try to tell me nobody can just jump this guy? He's just stuttering everybody, but nobody can just like stomp him out. And look, I think it's the point to get the story across that Cena, he's not playing. He's not. No, it's like not playing again. Not playing against the dude. Now, did it have to be the Wyatts? Did it have to be Wyatt? Okay, but okay. Let me ask you this: if he did to Heath Slater, would have been that effective? No. He needed that. It kind of had to be somebody that was looked as a threat. I bet. Come on, Chris, you should help me out here. I'm not saying that nobody has to like it, but come on, Chris, help me out here. There have been times where a hero actually lets loose on a known threatening villain, but that one time they may be so pissed off that villain can't do anything about that unstoppable rage or something. Yes, there comes a time where the hero, he really lashes out on a threatening villain. And on that one time, that one time that, just for that one instance, they completely just go crazy on a known villain because they're so, enraged and everything. So I think to send a stronger message, it had to be somebody of, credibility.
It couldn't have been Great Khali. So it needed somebody who was hot.
It needs somebody, a known heel and everything. Now, I know people may think, okay, but, Bray, he just got off that Jericho thing, and, he's still true, but, maybe, I'm not saying it had to be the Wyatts. What I'm saying is that it had to be somebody that people take as a threat. Because if he did it to freaking Sandow, we know Sandow's a scrub. So that's not like, oh, Cena's went through Sandow. He's a scrub. Scrub. No scrub. So, but because it was somebody that has, threatening out, the only thing is that looks so fake. That looks so fake. I'm driving. See, look at that.
That's fake.
The poppy tub. So, yeah. I mean, you got, in order for people to, I'm not saying Cena don't have credibility, but if you want to give somebody credibility, you got to either, for a heel, you're a heel, for a heel, we start taking a heel threatening when they do something vicious to somebody that we know is tough and is credible. It's like, oh shoot, they were able to do that to so and so. Oh shoot, you know, like you see freaking. What is it? When I was young, when I saw Brock undo what he did to Hogan, that had me fear for Rock. Like, oh shoot, he did that to Hulk Hogan. Oh crap, what's he? Oh man, Rock, you gotta be careful. So, but at least Jamal didn't say, oh gosh, Cena Bear. I'm sorry, I'm getting tired of that word, burial. It doesn't take one thing in precision to bury somebody. I mean, let me give you an example. I bet somebody may thought, and I look back at it, I surprised didn't bury somebody. I bet you when Kurt Angle was doing the Yippee-Ki-Yay with Austin, I bet you not people look at me. I can't believe that they tried to bury him. How was Kurt Angle? How was his credibility wasn't buried because people still took Kurt Angle in the ring as a threat, and he was still considered a threat by and a priority by the company. I think a real burial is when something bad, and then you just don't see that person anymore. That's how JR said it. He's like, man, you would have. He's like, if Dolph is maybe on the dude, he had doo-doo list, but if he was like on the real dude, then you wouldn't even. They wouldn't even have him on a show. Like they wouldn't even. Yeah, I didn't even say that. Like as bad as it looks, like it would really be more detrimental if they didn't have him on the show. Ooh. But see, there's no more comments, and seeing that basically read off all our list. Almost all. There was one more left for me, but I think that's about do it. And it's been. I think this is the first time I think I'm closing this thing shindig out because
sorry guys,
Chris is getting ready to head out. Yeah. You don't mind to say
I'm in the work, guys. So
the job.
I'm doing my job. So
yeah. So yeah. For the M.V.K. Chris, and this is Oakland 93. We bid you adieu and say see you soon.